What is going on YouTube? Hayden here, and in today's episode, we're going to be looking at Solana, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, VONG, which is the Russell 1000, and the S&P 500. I have some very exciting news. I guess it depends on who is listening to this, because it could certainly be bad news for some people, but good news in my opinion, because this was the easiest short opportunity as of yesterday. I warned you guys very specifically in yesterday's episode. I even put it in the freaking thumbnail here. History is repeating itself. As you can see, the XRP setup that everyone is ignoring and how this changes everything. History is repeating. We drew it here. I said it in the thumbnail. We have this beautiful descending fractal here. How we enter is how we exit here. And you can see we were forming a bear flag formation here, which would inevitably continue its correction here. And what did we do? Exactly what we called and exactly how we anticipated it to go down here. It doesn't get any easier than that. As you guys can see here in the past, we had a beautiful bear flag where we fall to the downside, consolidate up in this continuation pattern, and then fall out of it here. How we enter, which is bearish, is going to be how we exit, which is also, you guessed it, bearish. Moving forward from Solana, we enter bearish. We have our continuation pattern to the upside. What do? Dump to the downside. How we enter is how we exit. We even drew it here on the relative strength indicator that this beautiful uptrend is not going to last, and as we get pressured to overbought area here, it is going to cause an immense drop. What did we do? Well, we saw that immense drop. A massive correction nonetheless here, extremely easy to capitalize on. We fell 16.5%, incredibly easy to take advantage of here, and I am super excited to see this result. So with that being said, we're also going to look at these other cryptocurrencies as XRP is rejecting and pulling to the downside. Ethereum rejecting, pulling to the downside. Bitcoin rejecting, pulling to the downside here, and then VONG and the S&P 500 haven't seen their movement just yet, although I am a very firm believer that we are going to see a correction in the market probably come next week, considering today is Friday. But with all of that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe. Let's get right into today's episode. So guys, before we dive into the technical analysis, remember BitDFI is doing a huge, and I mean a massive new user bonus. For those that sign up with the link down in the description below, you can earn up to $2,000 in free bonus cryptocurrency. It is insane. There's only about, 7 or 8 days left in this giveaway here for this promotion for this month. So definitely make sure to check it out down in the description below. $50 bonus, $100, $200, $500,000, and $2,000 bonus on a very measly deposit amount here for traders and whales out there. You know who you are. If you've already signed up for previous BitDFI deals, you can always create a new account and capitalize on the new opportunities that they're offering here. So this is phenomenal. Haven't seen a BitDFI bonus like this in a very long time, so definitely make sure to check that out. But moving forward and diving into today's episode, you can see here a quick refresh of the current coin market cap reveals major downtrend, major swing. Market cap is down 2.7%. I'm gathering that's for the day. Yes, 2.7% drop this today, and you can see here for these other cryptocurrencies, we're down all right. It's a very small movement. It's almost like to where we started from before, but you can see we rallied up. And here we are on a descent. Ethereum descent, XRP descent, BNB descent, Solana descending. Every cryptocurrency is falling to the downside here beautifully, if you ask me. Now you can see, to start with XRP, we are pretty much confirming that we are inside what appears to be this bull flag, this head and shoulders pattern here. You can see I've showed this and I'll show it again. We are in a very large head and shoulders pattern. For those that are new, this is pretty much what we're looking at right here. You can see that's not as, I think this would be a little bit better to show. Here we go. So you can see here what we are looking for here. Head and shoulders has a left shoulder, a head, and then the right shoulder. This is the height of the head here. You can see the early entry and the entry that would capitalize in a short. So yes, early entries would be taking obviously more of a risk had you have purchased, let's say XRP right around this level here. This would be an early entry. And you can see here, the entry point is actually at neckline. Didn't mean to do that. Not sure what I just did. There we go. Pain in the butt. Oh my gosh. Didn't mean to click that. Here we go. So you can see early entry was right there. Entry point would be below neckline, and then they have a target. So you can see right here, sellers emerge as price falls from market highs, reducing aggressive buying. Approaching the neckline, traders who bought near the peak or in the right shoulder face losses and exit, pushing prices lower. So you can see right here on, where is it, XRP, we are in what I believe is a very large head and shoulders pattern here. We are getting very close to that neckline, which would then confirm an entry for conservative buyers that take advantage of this and short this to the downside here. But for the time being, we are in a bull flag, so we could easily flip the script, break through price ceiling, and rally to the upside here. But it truly and totally depends on how we react to the head and shoulders here. So if we reject off here, it really comes down to how we react to this support and obviously this downtrend, which I'll extend out right now in yellow here. So this is going to be the entry point here. Good chance we'll fall lower. But we'll see. If we break through support, we're going to short. If we break through ceiling, we'll buy in and long to the upside here. It's that simple. It's that easy. Doesn't get any more complicated than that. Wait for that buying signal here because there is a lot riding on XRP right now as to whether or not we will be seeing a massive short opportunity or a long opportunity. But we knew correction was coming, especially since all the other cryptocurrencies were flashing major signals of correction here. Looking at Solana here, beautiful second bear flag formation. Here's the first, and then here is the second one, correcting to the downside. It doesn't get any easier than this. It was phenomenally obvious that we were going to see correction to the downside, and that is exactly what is happening here. And now we're going to consolidate. Now shows signs of, hey, we might hang out for a little bit. We did see a big dip down to support. Now we might, consolidate for the weekend, and then, and only then, do we have a chance of reversing out of it. Same thing with XRP. Then we might have a chance of getting back up to the upside here. Beautiful ascending broadening wedge on Ethereum here. This could very easily break down as it typically does show, but there's lots of these formations here, and until we retest or react to the solid supports or resistances here, we really don't have much of a leg to stand on. So we really need to be a little bit more patient with these cryptos. This was an easy trade for yesterday to take advantage of on Solana here. But now it's time to take profits, take a step back, and wait to see a bit more consolidation here. Same thing with Bitcoin too in this ascending fractal. These have a tendency to break down, especially because we're nearing overbought. But actually, then again, because we entered it bullishly, we could exit bullishly. But you can see lots of uncertainty within this fractal here. Very hard to draw a definitive answer. So you're just going to have to wait a bit longer for us to confirm a general direction here. But these other cryptos, Solana was the main one we were trading. XRP is still on the back burner. We're waiting for that. And then it goes Ethereum, then Bitcoin. Now, as for the other cryptos like Vong and the S&P, with the market seeing correction here and with us being overbought or nearing overbought, you can see right here. To me, this says we don't have much more volume to head up even higher. We've been in a very large uptrend since bottom in April here. So you can see we're almost coming on a month now, 3 weeks, but we're looking for probable correction, if that makes sense. We need a healthy pullback. Similarly, in the past here, you can see once we entered this sideways channel, we stayed in it for a very long time. I'd be totally fine seeing that same thing. If we could just hang out in here for a little bit longer, that would be phenomenal because it would lower us on the relative strength indicator and get us ready for a very large pump to the upside, which is truly what I do expect to see coming. But again, it calls for consolidation. It calls for sideways movement. We are too overbought to see any sort of major rally to the upside at this moment. So that calls for more of a consolidation, a pullback within all these cryptocurrencies like we're experiencing. So I wouldn't be surprised if Vong has it. Same thing with the S&P. Again, nearing overbought. It's screaming that we don't have much more room to head higher up. You can even draw some sort of uptrend here. That's terrible. Maybe some sort of uptrend like this. And you can see it's going to come to an end very soon. These are, as we showed before, bear flag formations here. How we enter is typically how we exit. So expect to see a sell-off within the stock market and a lot of these cryptocurrencies fairly soon. Once we come to the top and we breach it, there's a very good chance we are going to see that immediate sell-off. We could probably draw the same thing on Vong too, but these other cryptos, Bitcoin specifically, is just in a consolidating fractal. Ethereum, ascending broadening wedge. I'll just show you what that looks like here. Ascending broadening wedges typically consolidate in, and then they fall to the upside here. So this is kind of that pattern. Or this one here. It really doesn't matter. Let's use this. So how we enter is how we exit. So higher lows and higher highs, upper trend line here, lower trend line. We head up and eventually we break down from that. And you can see on Ethereum here, it's kind of a similar pattern here, and it should end with us breaking out of it. But that's going to be it for today's video. Smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.